Imagine a glamorous media tycoon, living a life of luxury in Mumbai's elite circles, hiding a deadly secret. Her own daughter, passed off as her sister, vanishes without a trace. But 3 years later, a driver's shocking confession unravels, a tale of betrayal, murder, and family deception that shocks India. What drove a mother to allegedly kill her child? Stay tuned as we dive into the chilling Sheena Bora murder case. In 2012, Mumbai, India's glittering financial capital, was home to Sheena Bora, a 25-year-old executive with a promising career at Mumbai Metro 1. She was ambitious, driven, and seemingly had it all: a good job, a loving relationship, and a bright future. But behind her success lay a tangled web of family secrets that would soon unravel into one of India's most shocking true crime stories. This is the story of Sheena Bora's disappearance, a case that began with whispers of doubt and exploded into a national obsession. Let's meet the key players. Sheena was a young woman with a quiet charm, raised in Guwahati, Assam, by her grandparents after her mother, Indrani Mukherjee, left her behind. Indrani was no ordinary mother. A glamorous media mogul, she co-founded INX Media with her husband, Peter Mukherjee, a prominent figure in India's television industry. The couple lived a lavish life in Mumbai's upscale Worli neighborhood, rubbing shoulders with the elite. To the world, Indrani was a success story, a woman who rose from humble beginnings to power and wealth. But she carried a secret. Sheena wasn't her sister, as she claimed, but her daughter from a previous relationship. Then there was Rahul Mukherjee, Peter's son from his first marriage. Rahul, in his late 20s, was Sheena's boyfriend, and their relationship was serious enough to cause tension in the Mukherjee household. Sheena's brother, Mikhail Bora, also played a role. Raised alongside Sheena in Guwahati, he later moved to Mumbai, where Indrani introduced him as her sibling too. Rounding out the cast was Shamvar Rai, Indrani's loyal driver, a seemingly minor figure who would later hold the key to the case, and Sanjeev Khanna, Indrani's ex-husband from Kolkata, lingered in the background, his involvement unclear until much later. The story begins on April 24, 2012, when Sheena Bora vanished. She was last seen leaving her workplace in Mumbai. That evening, she took a leave of absence from her job and sent a resignation letter via email. She also texted Rahul, her boyfriend, saying their relationship was over and she was leaving for a new life. To those around her, it seemed plausible. Maybe Sheena, young and ambitious, had decided to start fresh elsewhere. But something didn't add up. Rahul was the first to sound the alarm. He found the breakup text strange. Sheena's tone was off, formal, not like her usual self. He tried calling her, but her phone was unreachable. Worried, he approached the Mumbai police, urging them to file a missing person report. But the police dismissed his concerns, accepting Indrani's explanation that Sheena had gone to the United States to study. Indrani even showed them emails supposedly from Sheena, claiming she was fine. Rahul wasn't convinced, but without evidence, his pleas went nowhere. The setting of this mystery was Mumbai, a city of contrasts where skyscrapers tower over slums and ambition fuels both dreams and dark secrets. Sheena's last known movements traced through Bandra, a trendy Mumbai suburb, and Worli, where the Mukherjees lived in a posh apartment. A month later, on May 23, 2012, a decomposed body was found in a forest in Pen, a rural area in Raigad district, about 60 miles from Mumbai. The body was burned, unidentifiable, and the local police treated it as a routine case, storing the remains without much investigation. No one connected it to Sheena, at least not yet. The community's reaction was muted at first. Sheena's colleagues assumed she'd left her job voluntarily. Her friends, unaware of her family's complexities, believed she might have moved abroad. But Rahul's persistence kept the case alive. He questioned Indrani repeatedly, noticing her calm, almost rehearsed responses. The public, too, was unaware of the brewing storm. Mumbai's fast-paced life moved on, and Sheena's disappearance faded into the background. The early investigation, or lack thereof, was riddled with challenges. The Mumbai police's inaction was a major hurdle. They didn't file a missing person report, trusting Indrani's story over Rahul's suspicions. There was no immediate crime scene to investigate, as Sheena's last location was unclear. The resignation letter and breakup text, later revealed to be forged, misled authorities. Witnesses were scarce. Indrani and Peter claimed no knowledge, and Mikhail, Sheena's brother, was in Guwahati, unaware of the situation. The lack of physical evidence, like a body or crime scene, left investigators with nothing to work with. Cultural factors added complexity. In India, family disputes are often kept private, and Indrani's status as a media powerhouse gave her influence. Her story about Sheena studying abroad aligned with societal expectations of young professionals seeking opportunities overseas. The police, perhaps hesitant to challenge a high-profile figure, didn't dig deeper. Meanwhile, rumors swirled in Mumbai's elite circles, with whispers of family drama but no concrete leads. As months turned into years, Sheena's case remained cold. Rahul's frustration grew, but he had no proof. The public remained oblivious, and the Mukherjees continued their high society life. But in August 2015, a seemingly unrelated arrest would blow the case wide open, exposing a chilling truth that no one saw coming. On April 24, 2012, Sheena Bora stepped into a car in Mumbai's Bandra neighborhood, never to be seen again. What unfolded that night would shock India, revealing a crime so twisted it seemed ripped from a thriller novel. The Sheena Bora murder case wasn't just a disappearance. It was a calculated act of betrayal, allegedly orchestrated by the one person Sheena should have trusted most, her mother, Indrani Mukherjee. According to the Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI, the crime took place in the upscale streets of Mumbai. On that fateful evening, Sheena, 25, was picked up by Shamvar Rai, Indrani's driver, in a hired Opel Corsa. Indrani and her ex-husband, Sanjeev Khanna, were allegedly in the car. The CBI claims they drove to a secluded lane in Bandra, where Sheena was strangled to death. The motive? A toxic mix of financial disputes, family secrets, and disapproval of Sheena's relationship with Rahul Mukherjee, Indrani's stepson. After the murder, the trio allegedly stuffed Sheena's body into a bag, drove 60 miles to a forested area in Pen, Raigad district, and set it ablaze to destroy evidence. The body, left in a ditch, wasn't discovered until May 23, 2012, by local police, who initially couldn't identify it due to its decomposed and burned state. For 3 years, the case remained dormant. Indrani told everyone, friends, family, even the police, that Sheena had moved to the United States for studies. She produced forged emails and a resignation letter from Sheena's workplace to back her story. A breakup text sent to Rahul from Sheena's phone further muddied the waters. But the truth began to surface in August 2015, thanks to an unexpected break. Shamvar Rai, Indrani's driver, was arrested on August 21, 2015, in Mumbai for illegal weapons possession. Facing pressure, he cracked and confessed to a far greater crime. his role in Sheena's murder. Rai's account was chilling. He claimed Indrani planned the murder meticulously, enlisting him and Sanjeev Khanna to carry it out. Rai said he drove the car while Indrani and Khanna executed the plan, later helping dispose of the body. His confession turned him into a key witness, or approver, for the prosecution, granting him partial immunity in exchange for testifying. Rai's revelation led to swift action. On August 25, 2015, Mumbai police arrested Indrani Mukherjee at her Worli residence. The next day, Sanjeev Khanna was apprehended in Kolkata. Both were charged with murder, kidnapping, and conspiracy. The police also revisited the remains found in Raigad in 2012, sending a femur bone for DNA testing. The results, confirmed in September 2015, were a bombshell. The body was Sheena Bora's. This forensic breakthrough tied the crime to Indrani's family, shattering her carefully crafted lies. Another key figure emerged: Peter Mukherjee, Indrani's husband and a media tycoon. On November 19, 2015, he was arrested for alleged conspiracy, accused of knowing about the murder and possibly aiding the cover-up. However, Peter maintained his innocence, claiming he believed Sheena was alive and abroad. His arrest added a high-profile twist, as the Mukherjee's glamorous image crumbled under public scrutiny. New evidence piled up. Sheena Bora, Sheena's brother, revealed that Indrani had introduced both him and Sheena as her siblings, not her children, to protect her elite persona. He alleged Indrani tried to silence him by attempting to institutionalize him in 2012. Rahul Mukherjee provided crucial testimony, sharing how he'd suspected foul play from the start. His persistence, ignored by police for years, finally gained traction. Phone records showed suspicious communication between Indrani, Khanna, and Rai around the time of the murder. The forged resignation letter and breakup text were traced back to Indrani's manipulation of Sheena's phone and email. The investigation also uncovered the motive. The CBI pointed to financial disputes, particularly Sheena's share in family property, and her engagement to Rahul, which Indrani opposed. Sheena's relationship threatened Indrani's control over assets and her social image, as it risked exposing her secret, that Sheena was her daughter, not her sister. This revelation turned the case into a media frenzy, with headlines screaming about betrayal and murder in Mumbai's high society. Witness testimonies added fuel. Rai's detailed account of the murder night, down to the car model and the Raigad forest, matched forensic findings. Sanjeev Khanna confessed to strangling Sheena, though he later recanted, claiming coercion. Neighbors and colleagues recalled Indrani's cold demeanor when asked about Sheena's whereabouts. The case, now under the CBI's control, became a national sensation, exposing not just a crime but a family's dark underbelly. Yet challenges persisted. The burned remains limited forensic evidence, and the 3-year gap meant some leads had gone cold. Indrani's influence as a media figure raised questions about whether the police had initially protected her. Despite these hurdles, the arrests and DNA evidence marked a turning point, setting the stage for a high-stakes legal battle. With Shamvar Rai's confession in 2015, the Sheena Bora case shifted from a cold disappearance to a full-blown murder investigation. But catching the culprits was just the start. The road to resolution has been a marathon of legal twists, evidence battles, and courtroom drama that continues even in 2025. Let's break down the breakthroughs, the charges, and where things stand today. The first major breakthrough came on August 21, 2015, when Rai was arrested for an unrelated weapons charge. Under questioning, he revealed his part in Sheena's murder, implicating Indrani Mukherjee and Sanjeev Khanna. This led to Indrani's arrest 4 days later at her Worli home. Police charged her with murder under Section 302 of the Indian Penal Code, kidnapping, Section 364, and destroying evidence, Section 201. Sanjeev Khanna was nabbed in Kolkata on August 26, facing the same charges. In November, Peter Mukherjee was arrested for criminal conspiracy, Section 120B, based on allegations he knew about the plan and helped cover it up. The Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI, took over in September 2015, bringing national resources to the case. A pivotal moment was the DNA confirmation. Tests on a femur bone from the Raigad remains matched samples from Sheena's brother, Mikhail, and biological father, Siddhartha Das, proving the body was Sheena's. This forensic evidence sealed the link to the accused and shifted the case from suspicion to hard proof. Charges were formally framed in 2017, and the trial began in a special CBI court in Mumbai. The prosecution's strategy focused on building a chain of circumstantial evidence. They presented phone records showing calls between Indrani, Khanna, and Rai on the day of the murder. Financial documents highlighted disputes over property. Sheena reportedly controlled assets that Indrani wanted. The CBI argued the motive was twofold: Indrani's disapproval of Sheena's engagement to Rahul Mukherjee, which could expose her family secrets, and greed over inheritance. Key testimonies drove the case forward. Shamvar Rai, as an approver, gave a blow-by-blow account. He claimed Indrani drugged Sheena with sedatives in the car. Khanna strangled her, and they burned the body in Raigad. Sanjeev Khanna initially confessed to the strangling, but later withdrew it, saying it was coerced. Rahul Mukherjee testified about the suspicious breakup text and Indrani's evasive answers. Sheena Bora revealed Indrani's attempts to hide her motherhood, including efforts to institutionalize him. A notary advocate who witnessed Indrani's property dealings was declared hostile in March 2025 after contradicting earlier statements. The defense countered aggressively. Indrani's lawyers argued the evidence was fabricated, pointing to the 3-year delay and mishandled forensics. They claimed Sheena might still be alive, citing unverified sightings. Peter's team emphasized his lack of direct involvement, leading to his bail in March 2020 by the Bombay High Court, which noted insufficient evidence against him. Indrani secured bail in May 2022 from the Supreme Court, after 6 years in custody, with the court observing that the trial was far from over and she posed no flight risk. Court proceedings have been slow, marked by adjournments and witness issues. By 2022, only 52 of 237 witnesses had been examined. The trial halted for 4 months in late 2024 due to a judge's transfer, but resumed daily from March 10, 2025. In May 2025, the CBI dropped 65 witnesses, including Peter's ex-wife, to streamline the case, leaving 125, a Panch witness, independent. Observer testified in April 2025 about the recovery of evidence, though his memory was spotty. In a notable development, bones from Sheena's remains, previously reported missing, were traced to a CBI storehouse and presented in court in July 2024. But the CBI decided not to rely on them as evidence, overruling defense demands. Legal strategies evolved over time. The prosecution leaned on digital forensics, like email traces showing Indrani forged Sheena's resignation. The defense highlighted inconsistencies, such as the police's initial inaction and potential tampering. In February 2025, the Supreme Court dismissed Indrani's plea to travel abroad, directing the trial court to wrap up proceedings within a year to ensure timely justice. As of August 2025, there is no final verdict. The trial remains ongoing, with witness examinations continuing in Mumbai. Indrani, Peter, and Khanna are out on bail, but the case hangs over them. If convicted, they could face life imprisonment or the death penalty for murder. The wider impact has been profound. On a personal level, Rahul Mukherjee has spoken of his lingering grief and frustration with the delays. Sheena Bora has accused Indrani of further manipulation, deepening family rifts. Socially, the case exposed flaws in India's justice system. The initial police dismissal of Rahul's concerns highlighted biases toward the powerful, while the prolonged trial, now over a decade since the crime, spotlights chronic backlogs in courts. It also sparked debates on media ethics, as sensational coverage turned the Mukherjees' lives into tabloid fodder, influencing public opinion and even the investigation. In the end, the Sheena Bora case isn't fully resolved yet. It's a reminder that justice can be elusive, even with breakthroughs like confessions and DNA. But as proceedings inch forward, the truth about that fateful night in 2012 edges closer to light. More than a decade after Sheena Bora's disappearance in 2012, the case continues to echo through India's society and legal system. What began as a family secret has exposed deep flaws in how justice is delivered, especially when the powerful are involved. The slow grind of the trial, still ongoing as of August 2025, with witnesses being examined and no verdict in sight, highlights chronic issues like court backlogs and evidence mishandling. In India, where millions of cases languish, the Sheena Bora saga has fueled calls for reforms, including faster trials and better forensic protocols. The CBI's decision in May 2025 to drop 65 witnesses, streamlining the list to focus on key testimonies, shows attempts to speed things up, but critics argue it risks weakening the prosecution. On a societal level, the case has sparked conversations about family dynamics, class divides, and media sensationalism. Indrani Mukherjee's story, a woman who allegedly hid her children to climb the social ladder, mirrors broader pressures in Indian society, where ambition can clash with traditional values. It's raised awareness about domestic betrayal and the hidden dangers in elite circles, prompting discussions on mental health and family counseling. Public outrage, amplified by Netflix's 2024 documentary, The Indrani Mukherjee Story. Buried truth has kept the spotlight on accountability, with many viewing it as a cautionary tale against unchecked power. Reactions from those closest have been raw. Rahul Mukherjee, Sheena's partner, has expressed ongoing grief and frustration over the delays, calling for quicker justice to honor her memory. Sheena Bora, her brother, has publicly accused Indrani of manipulation, deepening the family's fractures. The community in Mumbai's media world, once enamored with the Mukherjees, now sees them as symbols of fallen grace. Public calls for reform have grown, with activists pushing for stricter laws on missing persons reports and protections for whistleblowers like Rahul, whose early warnings were ignored. Lessons from this case are clear. Trust forensic science, but verify evidence chains, challenge influential narratives early, and prioritize swift investigations to prevent cold cases. For prevention, experts recommend family mediation programs and awareness campaigns on inheritance disputes. As India evolves, the Sheena Bora case reminds us that justice delayed can feel like justice denied, but it also inspires hope for a more equitable system. Sheena's story isn't over. It's a call to ensure no one else is forgotten.